how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Indie Comics Review. This week, I will be reviewing 3 books, and all of them debuted last week. So let's get started right away. The first book is a book that many of us can agree on was the best book of last week. I'm talking about Geiger by Geoff Johns and Gary Frank. Geiger is a futuristic, apocalyptic world book that just kind of blew me away last week. I don't know about you guys, but it was very good. It begins in an apocalyptic future where there's some guys just milling around looking for stuff, scavenging, talking about predators and things they should be looking out for. And one of the guys asked about the glowing man. And the other guy says, well, let me tell you a story about the glowing man. And his name was Geiger. His name was Tariq Geiger, in fact. And everything he did for his family. And he proceeds to tell him the story of how Tariq Geiger became, allegedly, the glowing man. So this begins when there's some sort of warning. They're watching television, and you can see that communications has gone out. And we see Geiger run across the panel, yelling at his wife and kids, "Let's go," to get out. What he's trying to get them to do is to get out and make it into their bunker. They live in Nevada, and they have a bunker. They have a bunker that's been prepared for just such an occasion. Assuming he was the man of means to have such a thing. So, but they got their shit together, and they're getting ready to go in the bunker. They're stressing about going in the bunker for God knows how long, but they say, hey, we're going to be in here for as long as needed. And there's lots of little throwaway lines in this book too. Like there's one reference to a cartoonist that created a beloved character that died that same day that the unknown war is what they call it started. So there's a lot of good layered things in there that I'll get to later on. But anyway, back to the beginning of the war. Geiger and his family are about to go into the bunker when they run into some Nevada Republicans who decide they're just going to go ahead and take this bunker from them. And what follows is just a real ugly scene I won't go into, but it's kind of a key part of the book, and it drives home the love that and the sacrifice that this man is willing to give for his family. Story flashes forward to after the big blast. There's some more scavengers. By this time, no one can walk around without a suit. But these guys are walking around and they see this caped figure, hooded caped figure, clearly walking around without a suit. And there's a fight, and you clearly see that this man has gained some sort of powers. Now, how he got powers and no one else that was obliterated in the big blast did not get powers, including those 2 Republicans. Who knows? Maybe that'll be explained later on. But he clearly has been altered by this occurrence. Maybe we'll see what happens later on. And we are, rather I should say, shown that his family is still inside that bunker, and he wants to, I guess, someday be able to open that bunker and see his family again. And there are some things that happen after that with, as far as how this world has shaken out, as how people have exploited what has happened. I won't go more into that, but that's I don't want to give any spoilers because I really want people who have not seen this book to enjoy this book. This book was a joy from beginning to end for me. It's under the Mad Ghost imprint on Image, and that's, I guess, I'm not sure who's in that maybe Geoff Johns' imprint. I'm not sure. I have to check that out. But just the feel of it. This in typical indie book fashion. It's got the solid cardstock cover, good papers, beautiful colors. Yeah, this is something that I think could be. It reminds you a little bit, maybe, of Oblivion Song in some ways, maybe. But there's a lot of original stuff in here that is unique to this book, and I can see this being a really a really good story in the future. You know, I was referring to earlier, there's a few inferences to things that they just hint about. Maybe the Junkyard Joe reference was not a big deal, but the back page of issue #1 has a Junkyard Joe episode, a Junkyard Joe comic strip on it. And that's pretty cool. That kind of reminds me of the way Alan Moore kind of layered Watchmen into this whole thing. I hope they do more of that. That would be really cool if they did that. I'm not comparing this to Watchmen by any means, but you never know. It's got a good start so far. And if you have not checked out Geiger yet, you should try to catch it, because I know it's getting sold out in a lot of places. You may probably be able to read it online, and you can find a copy somewhere in your local comic store, especially for like cover price. You should pick it up. Geiger, man, it's really a good book. Check it out. The next book is The Silver Coin by Chip Zdarsky and Michael Walsh. This is Image Comics' latest foray into the anthology type of series, following Ice Cream Man and Ha Ha. The Silver Coin is going to be the type of story that follows an object, a silver coin, throughout I think the 5 or 6 issue limited series that it's going to span. And this first issue follows a band. It's a struggling, they start off as a bar band. This band is like, the story opens up where they're just rocking out, right? They're having one of the best sessions of their lives. And they pan around and see that there's nobody in the bar, which is, I'm sure, something that every member of every band has experienced at one point or another. And they're, you know, it's back in the 70s. It takes place in the 70s, and they're lamenting the fact about this is the dawn of the disco era. The lead singer is going through the whole disco sucks, blah 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 thing, and they're just saying that, you know, they're going to waste their entire lives doing this gig, doing this type of gigs rather, and disco is going to like totally overshadow them. So they're hanging out later on the night. It's a 3-person band. There's a female drummer, a bass player, and the lead guitar player is the front man. And as they're kicking around, it was a drummer who says that they're going through some of their relatives' stuff, and they found this coin, and okay, it's just like an old, like I guess, curiosity thing. They flip it over to the lead singer. He seems to be entranced by the coin. You know, he just keeps it and uses it as a guitar pick. In fact, that was the reason that he picked it up in the first place, was to use it as a guitar pick. He didn't have a guitar pick. So this is probably the next day. I'm sorry, I missed a part there. The next day, they're using it. He's using it as a guitar pick during their jam session, and it just happened in his pocket, you know, by coincidence, right? So once he uses this coin as the pick, he just plays the most raps. There's like a rhapsody in the way that he plays his music, and the band members are just enthralled. They're just like, whoa, that was just the most awesome shit I've ever heard in my life. And they eventually the band starts getting better, and everyone that listens to their music just is like, whoa, this is just the greatest thing I've ever heard. So it's clearly the coin. The coin is the thing that's driving this change in their popularity and their good fortunes. So once there's a chance, there's an opportunity for them when the bartender, who was a big fan of theirs, tells them that, hey, I know this guy at I think Polygram Records. I know this record exec. I'm gonna have him sit in. They're starting to fill the house now. There's no more empty seats in the bar, so I'm gonna have him come in and check you guys out. And there's they don't hit it off with the executive right away. But eventually, the guy decides to just leave the band. I mean, this is something that front people often do in bands. You know, they feel that they're musicians and artists. It's just so hard for us to collaborate with others. I think we got to do our own thing. And eventually, the front people always leave bands. So he ends up leaving the band, and he went sitting in with the disco people, who were willing to pay him a lot of money to just front their band. So things happened after that, and as you can imagine, this being a horror anthology, it's horrible. Silver Coin, I'm down with it because it's going to be a different story every time. This one was pretty good. I don't know if I would put it as it wasn't the first knockout, but Ice Cream Man wasn't a runaway hit in the beginning anyway. It was like eventually those early issues were really sought after, you know, because nobody was paying attention to Ice Cream Man at the time. But now in retrospect, you know, they're all through the roof. People kind of saw that coming, and so far has been really, really good. Silver Coin, it was okay. It was, I kind of see this story kind of developing that way, sure, but it was still pretty well told. And I think that they got the whole trilogy of horror books down here at Image right now. They just leave it at 3 and try not to make, and don't make any more, because like right now Ice Cream Man's got the host. He's got that whole aspect of the horror comic covered. Has got, it's more like tragic human stories about clowns. That's covered. And Silver Coin is about an enchanted or cursed object. So they just play those out, bring on the good writers and artists, and I think it should be fine. So if you pick up Silver Coin, see what you think about it. I mean, I personally think it's worth sticking around for another issue. And I would recommend even I'm probably going to subscribe to the whole series just because I like these kind of anthology series. So bottom line, I gotta give it a marginal thumbs up. The last book is Project Patron. This is from Aftershock Comics, and it is by Steve Orlando and Patrick Piazzalunga. So this book is about a superhero, the Patron, very much like a Superman type of a character, who in this world had a very much like a Superman battle with a very much like a Doomsday character, in which he fought to the death, and it was one of those knockdown, drag out things like what happened with Superman and Doomsday, where they both end up killing each other. But in this reality, the Patron stayed dead, and these people who ran the government, I suppose, just decided that, you know, the Patron has got to live. There has to be a Patron. I mean, the public morale has to be a Patron. So for the public morale, there has to be a Patron. So they decided to make this Reploid. It's like not a virtual reality, but there's a Reploid that goes out and does the things the Patron used to do, but it's powered by these people who are back in this base, in this wearing this suit. It's like a VR suit, more or less, but it actually makes the character, makes the Reploid, I can hardly call him that, the Reploid move and do things. But the thing about it is, it takes a lot of people to do this, because every time they go out on these missions, it takes like a year off of the person who's operating the Reploid's life. So they have to have a series of people operating this thing, and this Commander Cody, I think is the name of this guy, is the leader of this team of people who operate the Patron. This is what Project Patron is. It is the keeping the Patron alive for the good of the country, or the good of the world, if you will. So this story pretty much follows what the training of these people is going to be, and they're bringing on this new young psychological, or I think it's I forget what his specialty is, but this young handsome operator of the Patron I guess to eventually replace Commander Cody. So the story pretty much just gives you the rundown of the types of individuals that operate the character, that operate the patron. And at the end, there is an act of possible espionage, betrayal, maybe something like that. I won't go into about that. But and the project is in peril at the end of the story. Let's say that has happened. And I guess the thing you have to think about Project Patron is, do you think it's going to evolve more from this Superman kind of homage that it's billed itself as? And with what happens at the end, how something goes wrong, it seems like this could be a book that I would give a second issue to. It's definitely not a bad book. It's well drawn, pretty well written. I don't know how much I accept the premise that we can't live without the patron, but okay, let's see what you do with this. It's something I'm willing to explore. If this is something that you think is just too, I don't know, too derivative of Superman and Doomsday, then I totally get that too. But personally, I think I'll give it another shot, because Project Patron, it's interesting. It's got a, I want to see what's going to happen with this possible espionage or whatever it is that's happens later on in the issue, and how they explain the event that happens at the end of the book. So I would say, yeah, Project Patron, give it a shot. So that's all we got this week, folks. Be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you know when I make another video. So until next week, I'll see you guys in my next video. Hey, don't forget to subscribe and leave a thumbs up.